Hi Flosstube, I am Tamara. I am Petite Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram, where I don't post very often and should do better, but I don't. Today is Sunday, February 19th, 2023, and it is about 10:30 in the morning here, which is a little later than I usually film, but it's been a day already. It is still rainy, drizzly, nasty, yucky weather here in South Carolina. Sunny South Carolina. It has not been one weekend yet this entire year. We are almost done with February and we have not had a single weekend where it did not rain. So, how's it been where you are? Are you seeing sunshine? Well, now I will say, we have seen sunshine a good bit during the week. So it's not like we never see the sun. And this week we're supposed to have sunshine most of this week. In fact, on Thursday it's supposed to be a high of 84 here, which is a little bit hotter than I like. I like 75 to 80, 84, just getting up there, especially for February. But, you know, it'll be good. My daughter has a track meet that day, so she'll be loving it because she loves to run when it's warm. She's not a big fan of the cold. So, you know, eventually we'll see sun. I'm hoping we'll see sun on a weekend soon because this rainy weekend stuff, it's for the birds. And it doesn't make for good lighting. So again, I apologize in advance if the lighting is bad. I can't help it. We do have a little bit of sun, cloudy sun coming through. Neither dog has decided to join me this morning. They were both up here, and then I asked one of the girls to take one of them because I don't think I could film with both of them in here. And when she called one, they both went. So it's just me. So what do we have today? We have a new start. Yay! We have no finishes. I haven't had a finish yet this year. It might be April or May before I see a finish. Maybe March because I'll talk about that more in plans, but no finishes yet. And several whips, works in progress, and then some plans, and then life stuff. I always do the life stuff at the end. I say I always do life stuff at the end. I also intermingle life stuff throughout, but like the main life stuff I do at the end. For those of you who are just here from the stitching, then you can scoot out and you've seen the stitching. I'll try to tell you, hey, this is life stuff, so no more cross stitch stuff will be shown, so if you want to scoot, you can scoot. Welcome. All of that to say welcome. If you are new here, I hope that you can handle my crazy and you want to keep coming back every week or every 2 weeks. I film every 2 weeks, not weekly. I'd love that. I'd love for you to leave a comment, subscribe, join in the friendship here because I think of the people who comment and like and interact with me. I think of you as my friends. I really do. I feel like there's several of you that I've gotten to know fairly well through Flosstube. We don't live anywhere near each other. We haven't met in person, but just through Flosstube and interacting and you know, having those communications, I feel like I've made some really good friends here on Flosstube. If you are returning, again, welcome back. Thank you for being my friend. Yeah, I'm kind of scattered this morning. I do have notes, so hopefully that will help me not be so scattered because, yeah. I just got back from a walk, so in the drizzling rain. It's not raining, it's just kind of drizzly and misty and cold. So yeah. So I think that's why I'm so just out of it. But I needed the walk because I need more exercise. All right. My arm, especially my right arm, gets a lot of exercise stitching, but you know, the rest of me would like to get some exercise too. So let's get started with my new start. So if you've been here for a while, you know I'm doing one new start a month, at least. I have 12 new starts planned to be once a month. I hear Chaos in the hallway. Chaos might need to come in. I think she's trying to wrangle him downstairs. I might have to let one of them in so that they can not drive them, the rest of my house crazy. But I have 12 new starts planned for this year, one for each month, and then a 13th for on my birthday. And then as the whim hits me, I may start other things because there's a lot of stuff out there I want to stitch. And if I only do one a month, I'm going to have to live to be 180 before I can even start everything, much less finish everything. So, yeah. I did not open zippers before I sat down. I am sorry. I know if you wear earbuds, it can be really loud, so I apologize in advance. But this is my new start, and this is in a bag made for me by Carrie, who is Patient Stitcher. I have a momentary emptying of my brain. And look at these. I love the green plaid with the shamrocks. And no, this is not a St. Patrick's Day piece, but I had a reason why I put it in this St. Patrick's Day theme. This is Petite Rainbow Row by CW Designs. And rainbows. And my thought was rainbows, Irish, St. Patrick's Day. Put it in the St. Patrick's Day bag because I don't have any St. Patrick's Day projects and I wanted to use my bag. So I made a little word stretch there, but it works for me. So it's in my St. Patrick's Day bag. And Rainbow Row is a very famous, if you're not familiar with it, is a very famous row of houses in Charleston, South Carolina. I've mentioned before, I did a summer in Charleston when I was in high school, taking a class on Charleston architecture. So this just, it touched my heart. I loved the time that I was there. I have very fond memories of it. So I wanted to do this pattern. And I am stitching this on 32 count baby sheep from XJude Designs. I started in the middle. Thankfully, I only got a fat eighth because otherwise I'd really have a lot of wasted space. This is my start. I did a center start, and then I'm working, so the center's right about here, and then I'm working my way out. But this is as tall as it's going to be, so I have all of this wasted fabric on the top and the bottom. I wish I had planned a little better and like moved it up, but then I would have just had a long strip on the bottom left over. I don't know what I would have done with it. So, but here it is. That is my start. It's not a big start, but you can tell it's beginning of a house, of one of the houses. So, and I'm counting this as a full coverage piece because once you get into the stitching, this is all full coverage. The only place that's not stitched is around the outside. So like in here is all full coverage. So in my mind, this is a full coverage piece. So that's why I started this one in February, because I'm kind of doing full coverage February. I am stitching on some things that are not full coverage, so not everything you see today will be full coverage, but for the most part, I'm doing full coverage February. I'm sorry, that was very crinkly. I apologize. And I'm going to make a stack of projects over here. They may fall because my desk is a mess right now. It's been a week. Today is not Monday. Today is Sunday. And in my mind, that's the beginning of the week, but last week was already a week, and today is already starting to be a week, so yeah, my desk needs attention. All right, so now let's move on to my works in progress, my whips, and I tried to put them in the order that I kind of stitched on them since the last time I saw you all, 2 weeks ago. So the first one was, the first one is one of the Whip Go calls for February for me. It is Cardinal in the Snow. This is what it's going to look like. And this is where it was the last time I showed you. And it is from XJude Cross Stitch on Etsy. And I am stitching this on 28 count easy grid 1/1. And my whip go goal was 500 stitches in a minute. Now I am nowhere near the actual like heart of this piece. I am still up in the background, which I'm finding kind of tedious and boring, so it's hard for me to work on it. I need to figure out, I don't know. I'm working this off of a paper pattern, so it's a little hard. I've decided to just go straight across and then work my way down instead of doing the stair-step pages, but I know if I did the stair-step pages, I might get into the heart of it soon, so I don't know. The next time you see this, I may have changed the pattern of the way I'm stitching. Not the pattern itself, but the direction I'm stitching. But so I got in a good bit, because the last time I think I showed you, it was, I'd only gotten down this far, and I've gotten all of this. And then I am doing color completion. Well, I'm doing a modified color completion. I take one strand of a color. I go across, so the way I do it. So I go across and I go to the next open space and I look to see what color that is, and then I take out that floss, take out a strand, and I go as far as I can with that color, with that strand. So for some of them, if there's not a lot, because it's like, if you can tell, some of these are very confetti-ish, and those are the colors that you see down here, because I had one strand I did up here, and then a little here, and over here, and down here. Now this blue, there's a lot of this color blue, so that I didn't, I got a strand and it just kept going, and so, but eventually this page will be complete, eventually. So that's that one. I love the pattern. Like, I love the finished product. I want to see the finished product finished, but it's getting there. That is the hard part. The journey is a little bit more difficult on this one for me. The next one I worked on is another full coverage. It is Christmas 2. This one is artwork by Ciro Marchetti, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Design. Here is what it's going to look like, and here is what it looked like the last time I showed you. And I've taken it out of the Q-snap so you can see it in its full glory. First I'm going to show you where I worked. So I've been working on this page right here, and as you can see, I am almost done with this page. This is another one that I am doing off of a paper pattern. This is a Haid. The other one, obviously, I said I got it off of Etsy. It's got more blocks of color than a Haid usually does. So I can do, like, I can see in the paper pattern, the blocks are really big. I can see them easily. This one, the blocks are small and there's a lot of confetti and it's hard to find the next thing. So this one I'm using the Royal Rose method of just working 2 blocks at a time and then parking beneath. And so I've parked beneath all of here for the next pages so that when I do get down to the next pages, it'll be here. So let's look at the whole thing. I'm going to have to back up and stand up. Look at this. Look at this. Is this not gorgeous? Y'all, this is my oldest whip. And it's nowhere near close to being even a quarter of the way done. But look at that. Is that not just gorgeous? I love all the details. I can't wait until I can get into more of like nutcrackers and stuff. I think this down here is the snow globe with the gingerbread house in it. So I can't wait to do that. So as you can tell, I started doing the stair-step pages. And then I switched to doing the Rainbow Rose method, and I've decided to, not Rainbow Rose, Royal Rose. Goodness, I got rainbows on my brain. Royal Rose method, and so I started going across. And this is my nutcracker needle minder that I got from Frosted Pumpkin. But so I started to go across, and I don't know if I'm going to go all the way across or if I want to start going, I don't know. Since I took it out of the Q-snap, I can just move it across. I was going to keep it in the Q-snap and do, but I only have 2 big Q-snaps, and you'll see in a minute I'm using those for 2 other projects because it's been a big project kind of month, and so I'm using my big Q-snaps. So this one I'm very excited about. This was my focus piece last year. It is my focus piece again this year, and probably will be my focus piece until I finish it because it's my oldest whip. But that's probably going to be several years in the making, so y'all will see that a lot. So hope you like it, because I do, and you're going to see it a lot. Alright, my next one is not a full coverage piece. This is a stitch along that I'm doing with some friends. It's a modified stitch along. This is Flosstube Friends. I don't know why. I mean, I know for aesthetics, but to show y'all, I feel like I need to turn it so you see it. But it's Flosstube Friends, and this is from October House Fiber Arts. And this is housed in my Amazon bag, which I started putting stickers on. I keep saying I was going to put stickers on it. Finally putting some stickers on it, so I've just got one on this bag right now. As I get more stickers, I'll put them on. I have more stickers. I don't know where I've put them. I think my children get them sometimes. Like earlier today, I just handed the child a sticker because it was more her vibe than mine. I think that's what happens is I get the stickers in, and then I was like, no, this fits this child or this child's personality, and I give them to them, and they have lots of stickers on their Chromebooks and stuff like that, but and the water bottles. Me, I just give them away. But this is on 32 count Color and Cotton Ophelia. Like I said, things are going to start falling. So here is where it was the last time I showed you. And here is where it is now. I've done a lot on this lady, but not as much as I would have liked. So what we're doing is there's 6 of us working on this, and Hannah Dowling from Hannah Dowling coordinated this, and these are all Flosstube friends of hers that she's met in person. I met Hannah a couple of years ago. We met up when she came in to South Carolina for vacation, and we went to Fire Puppies when it was still open and got to meet each other. So I am one of her in-person Flosstube friends. Corinne from Grace Note Stitchers and Grace Notes Fabrics. She was the first person chosen. So what we're doing is each person will get to choose their person. So in December, Hannah spun and Corinne was chosen. So she was the first person to get to choose who she wanted to be and what color she wanted her dress to be. So she chose purple, and I am using Weeks Dye Works Amethyst for her. I've changed up almost all of the colors because if I don't have it in my stash, because this is all like fancy floss, if I don't have it, I'm not going to go buy it right now. I'm trying not to spend a lot of extra money. So I'm using what I have. So I'm using Amethyst for her dress, and I'm using a teal that I can't remember the name of for the accents on her dress. The collar, the belt, the buttons. And then there's some more accents that'll be down here. That'll also be teal. So that's that. So it's Hannah Dowling, Corinne and Colleen from Grace Note Stitchers, myself, and I can't remember the 2 other people because they're friends of Hannah's, and I need to get caught up with everybody because I am woefully behind. This is supposed to be finished. This person is supposed to be finished by the end of February because that's when she's gonna call the next person. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I have 9 days. I was trying to do 100 stitches a day on her, but life, and I'm going to be out of town again in a couple of days, and I'm not taking that project because it's on a big Q-snap, and so all of that to say, I might not finish that person before the next person gets called. That's okay. Maybe in March and April, because those aren't 28-day months, I'll be able to get caught up, but probably not. Maybe this summer. Who knows? All right, so the next one is another full coverage. It is World of Disney by ZAnna Cross Stitch on Etsy. Here is what it's going to look like. And here is what it looked like the last time I showed you. And this is on 32 count white easy grid, 1/1. This I do have on Pattern Keeper, so I am doing cross country by color, by page. So when I get to the bottom of a page, I do park my threads. Over here are my waist threads. You can see behind, they're all pulled over. But I'm getting there in this page, on this page. So right now there's a lot of green. I've done a lot of blue. And then this. And I kind of do it the same way that I showed you on the Cardinal piece, is I go to the next open space, find that color, stitch that until I run out of thread on that, or until I can park it at the bottom. If it's on the next page, I go ahead and park it. If it's not on the next page, then I'll finish it off. But I don't know, as you can tell, I've done this one, and then I'm only on the 3rd page. And there's like 500, it feels like. So I don't know if I'm going to continue to do stair step. I think I am, just because this one has so much. There's something in every page. Like, there's something to see in every page. This one, not so much, but there's still, like, you've got the border for the next little section and things like that. So this one up here was fun because I had the plane. So I think I'm going to continue to stair step so I can keep seeing stuff. I may change my mind on that. We shall see. And the last one I worked on is another full coverage. I did not unzip, so I apologize. This is Christmas Village Stocking from Kooler Design Studio. It's a Kooler Classic chart, but it is from Kooler Design Studio. And so this is what it's going to look like. I've made stockings for all of my children, for my husband. My husband's is not fully finished. It's getting sent off this year, so he can have his fully finished stocking this next Christmas. This one's going to be for me. All my others I did on fabric I liked. The last few were on, they were on linens, which I like to stitch on linen. This one I'm stitching on Monaco. I don't like it. It's too stiff. If you're a Monaco stitcher, more power to you. I'm glad. I just don't prefer it. It's very stiff. It's very unwieldy. Here is what it looked like the last time I showed you. And I need to search my fabric, but I don't own a serger, so I need to at least whip stitch it. Here's where it is now. I started moving across this page. I did a lot of this white, all this blue. This, I think, is a different blue, or cloud or something. I did these little leaves and berries, and I did almost all the Kreinik border. That took me a while because Kreinik and me are not friends. We don't get along, and so it takes me a while to stitch it, and it's very thick, and I've done a lot of complaining today. I apologize. I am not normally this pessimistic, but today I guess I am. My mood is matching the weather outside. It's gray and boring. So those are all my whips. And then let's go talk about plans. So I mentioned that Cardinal in the Snow was one of my February whip goals. The other one was that Jessie Marie called was Royal Nutcrackers. I have not worked on that at all this month, and that's for 500 stitches. So my plan is to work on that, to pull that out tomorrow and work on that tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's what I've written in my calendar. If I hit 500 before Wednesday, I'm going to pull out something else and move on from that, because I have a lot of things that I would like to finish. Not finish, but goals that I want to finish. So I've been doing the acrostics for the Magazine Monthly group and for 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. And I have things on the acrostic that I didn't put on my calendar when I was planning. So I'm kind of hoping I can get today. I did meet my goal for what I had planned to do for today, so I'm going to be pulling out something different for today than what I planned. Hoping I can do that again on Wednesday as well, because like I said, there are some other things I'd like to pull out. And then there are some goals that I had for other prompts and things for Full Coverage Fanatics that I didn't hit the full 1,000 stitches on for the ones I showed you. So I might also, before the end of this month, I'm going to try to pull those back out and finish up the number of stitches I need for those prompts. So that brings us to Stitchy Acquisitions. I don't have much, just one thing. It came in a purple envelope, which means it came from Tiny Hummingbird Stitchery, which is run by Sammy J, who has a channel on Flosstube. And this is the next in the Snowman series from Cottage Garden Samplings. And this is the Shepherd. This one, I love the first two. This one, I don't hate it. But I'm not a farm animal person. If you notice, if you've been with me for a while and you look back on, I don't do a lot of like farm animal stuff. That's just not me. I know that's a big thing. I know those, most of this, if you notice, I also didn't do a lot of samplers because a lot of them have farm animals. That's not me, and I'm not a farm animal type person, but I still will probably do this one just because it's a snowman and it's cute. And actually the sheep, I like the little designs in the sheep, the little swirlies. So there's just a lot of sheep, and it's a lot of white, and the snowmen are already white. So this one probably will be one of the last ones of the series I will do. I don't tend to stitch series in order. I just stitch them when the mood hits me. I haven't started any of the snowmen yet because those weren't planned starts. Those will probably be added in starts. For March, I have several pieces I have not yet touched in January, February. So my plan for March is those pieces are going to get priority. I also will have a planned start in March. I was going to do March Madness, but with my trip in halfway through March going to Boston, I don't really want to, I apologize if you can hear the crazy. Somebody just came in and the dog's a little happy and they're happy to see the dog, so it's a little loud right outside my door. But I don't know. I feel like March it's already halfway through and we haven't even started it for me, because I just can't plan. I'm so busy planning for the trip that I can't plan my stitches or to do March Madness or any of that. So I think I'm just going to try and plan to hit all the things that I haven't worked on yet this year. And I might try and do that for each quarter of the year. So for the first 2 months of that quarter, I'm going to work on what calls to me, what fits in prompts, what's called for whip go. And then for that last month, I'm going to still try and do my whip go goals and still try to work on like my focus piece. But then for my other days, try and pull out those things I haven't touched during that quarter so that maybe I can touch everything at least once every 3 months. So that's my goal. So if you were here for the stitching, that is it. That's all the stitching. Now we're going to get into life. I kind of mentioned a little bit of it. I'm taking one of my children to Boston in 3 weeks. That seems like way too soon. So that she can run in the indoor national track meet in Boston. We've never been. I'm very excited. I've never been that far north, so I know it's going to be still cold. So I've got to plan accordingly as far as packing and all that stuff. So I've been trying to plan for that. And then my youngest is wrestling this year, and the girls' state wrestling tournament is Friday and Saturday. And because girls are just now being introduced to wrestling this year, and it's not official, all the girls, if you were a girl and you wrestled, then you get to go to state. You didn't have to qualify, you just get to go. So she didn't have to qualify. The boys also have state this coming weekend. They had to qualify. So she gets to go. It is in a town about 4 hours away. So, and they wrestle all day Friday, all day Saturday. She starts wrestling at 9 a.m. Friday, and again at 9 a.m. on Saturday. So I will be getting a hotel room and staying up there Thursday night and Friday night, because I'm not driving up there Friday morning. It's going to be way too early. She's going up. The team is going up on Thursday night also. So I'll be taking a travel piece with me so I can do it in the hotel and at the venue. But that's one reason why I can't work on something big like Flosstube Friends that's on a big Q-snap. Yes, I could probably put it on a smaller one, but I don't know. I want something that's small, easily transportable, so that I can have it out in the venue, because it's going to be crowded and busy. But when she's not wrestling, I want something to do, so I'll have that with me. So I'll be taking a travel piece. It'll probably be the office piece that I've been working on. That's been my travel piece for the last couple of months, so I think it'll continue. I'm also planning to take it to Boston. However, if I finish it before we go to Boston, then I'll have to figure out a different travel piece. So I'm going to need to look through my whips and find something small that I can take on the plane that only uses a few colors. So, but that's kind of what life's been. It's been crazy. Work has been crazy. I work in the city's athletics department, and in the last 2 weeks, we've finished up soccer registration for youth soccer, gotten the youth soccer teams put together. They've started practicing. Games start in a couple weeks. I'm also the referee assigner for soccer, so once games start, I'll be assigning referees. And then we've also started registration for baseball, softball, track. And so it's been kind of busy. Basketball season is ending now, and trying to get all-stars paperwork together and all that stuff. So it's been very busy, and we've been kind of swamped. And when I get home in the afternoon, sometimes I'm tired. And then taking them to their things, and to soccer and wrestling and track. And I don't usually take them, actually, because the track runner can drive and she just takes the other one with her. However, now that we're getting into track meets will be starting up for school, and we've had wrestling stuff and just lots of stuff where I'm just not home and I don't get a lot of stitching time, and that's okay, because this time will be passing way too soon, and I will miss it. And I just keep reminding myself that when this is over and all of them are out of the house and on their own, I'm going to miss going to sporting events 2 and 3 times a week and giving up that time for them, because it seems like just yesterday that they were all little tiny people, and now they're all teenagers and young adults. So I hope you all are having a great February. I hope it is not as dreary there as it is here, and that you are getting lots of stitching in. I hope you all stay happy, stay healthy, and keep stitching. Bye, y'all.